Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between towering woods, there lived a sweet little girl known to everyone as Little Red Riding Hood. She earned her name from the vibrant red hooded cape that her grandmother had lovingly crafted for her. Little Red Riding Hood was adored by all, especially her grandmother, who lived alone in a cozy cottage at the edge of the dense forest. One sunny morning, Little Red Riding Hood's mother called her over and handed her a basket filled with freshly baked goodies.
"Take these to your grandmother,"
she instructed.
"but be careful and stay on the path. Don't talk to strangers, and don't wander off."
Little Red Riding Hood happily agreed, tying the red hood securely around her shoulders. With a cheerful goodbye, she skipped along the winding path through the woods, humming a tune to herself. As she strolled deeper into the forest, the tall trees cast dappled shadows, and the air turned cooler. Unbeknownst to Little Red Riding Hood, a sly wolf had noticed her presence. Intrigued by the delectable aroma wafting from the basket, the wolf decided to follow her.
"Good day, Little Red Riding Hood,"
the wolf called out as he caught up with her. Startled, she turned to see the cunning creature.
"Hello, Mr. Wolf,"
she replied politely, unaware of the dangers that lurked beneath his friendly demeanor. The wolf, with a twinkle in his eye, engaged Little Red Riding Hood in conversation. He cunningly steered the dialogue to find out where her grandmother lived. Sensing no harm, she innocently shared the information. Eager to reach her grandmother's cottage, Little Red Riding Hood bid the wolf farewell and continued on her way. The cunning creature, however, had a different plan in mind. He swiftly raced ahead, reaching the grandmother's cottage first. Upon arriving, the wolf cunningly knocked on the door, mimicking Little Red Riding Hood's voice.
"Grandmother, it's me, Little Red Riding Hood. I've brought you some treats."
The unsuspecting grandmother, thinking it was her granddaughter, opened the door. In a flash, the wolf pounced, devouring the old woman in one gulp. He then cunningly disguised himself in the grandmother's nightcap and slid under the covers, waiting for Little Red Riding Hood's arrival. When Little Red Riding Hood reached the cottage, she was surprised to find the door ajar. She entered cautiously and approached the bed.
"Oh, grandmother, what big ears you have,"
she exclaimed.
"All the better to hear you with, my dear,"
replied the disguised wolf, suppressing a sly grin. Little Red Riding Hood, noticing the peculiar changes in her grandmother, couldn't shake off the feeling that something was amiss. She scrutinized the wolf, her innocent eyes filled with curiosity.
"But, grandmother, what big eyes you have,"
she remarked.
"All the better to see you with, my dear,"
replied the wolf, maintaining his disguise and widening his eyes for effect. Undeterred but growing more uneasy, Little Red Riding Hood continued.
"And, grandmother, what big teeth you have."
The wolf couldn't contain his cunning smile any longer, revealing sharp, menacing teeth.
"All the better to eat you with, my dear,"
he exclaimed, lunging towards Little Red Riding Hood. Just in the nick of time, a woodsman who happened to be passing by heard the commotion. He burst into the cottage, brandishing an axe. The wolf, startled by the sudden intrusion, leaped out of the bed and tried to escape, but the woodsman swiftly caught him. With a swing of his axe, the woodsman rescued Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother. The wolf, defeated and frightened, slinked away into the depths of the forest. Little Red Riding Hood, now safe and sound, embraced her grandmother with relief. They thanked the brave woodsman for his timely intervention. From that day forward, Little Red Riding Hood learned a valuable lesson about the importance of being cautious and not trusting strangers, even those in disguise. The village celebrated the brave woodsman as a hero, and the cautionary tale of Little Red Riding Hood spread far and wide. The once dangerous wolf was never seen again, and the villagers lived with a newfound awareness of the perils that lurked in the shadows of the deep, mysterious woods. And so, the story of Little Red Riding Hood became not only a cautionary tale but also a testament to the courage and vigilance required to navigate the challenges of the world.